Is that jealousy I smell? It must be a very, very strong scent of jealousy if I could smell it all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. Because once again, the man known as Sleeta, David in the ATL, has said the same thing he has been saying since February. The same thing he's been saying all off season, all summer long. And the same thing he's now been saying for the past 10 days. The Tampa Bay Gronka Fournette brown ears. Very, very complex. Say that 10 times as fast as you can. The man himself fucked it up many, many a times. I've heard all the names. The Tampa Bay Gronkaneers, the Tampon Gay Yuccaneers, the Tampon Gay fucking queers. I've heard it all. Yes, Sleeta, I'm very well aware and appreciate the respect you have for the loyalty I have for this team. Not only have I shown it on YouTube in the past, I mean, God, when I was in high school, the Bucks were terrible, and I was on here every week, 2-3 times a week. Then I graduated high school, entered the working world, ironically, for the same company that you work for. But that's why. But I still pop in every now and again. And I especially pop in when we play the Falcons. This game means a lot to me. Because of a dear friend of mine who's been gone now for 2 years, Preston Fox. So I came up and do I don't know if you would call it a hate week anymore, but it's more of a tribute in his honor and in his memory that I come on here and talk about the Bucks-Falcons game and give a little shit towards somebody. And that somebody who is the easiest target is Sleeta. So yes, Sleeta, I appreciate the respect for me that you have and the loyalty I have for my team. I mean, for crying out loud, I've even put it on my damn shoulder. But damn, say something different. You have come on camera for the past, let's see, we're in September now. The Super Bowl was 7 months ago. For the past 7 months, you have said the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. That this team is bought and paid for, it's a fake ring, and an asterisk is next to it. It doesn't matter if you go and you draft and build a team, which is what the Bucks were trying to do, but it wasn't working, so they needed to bring in more valuable players to do so. Tom Brady chose to come here. I've said that to you 5 times now. And Ndamukong Suh was here before Tom Brady got here. Mike Evans has had 1,000 yards in each of his seasons in the NFL. The only other receiver to do that that's still in the league is the man you just let go to Tennessee. Chris Godwin, 1,000-yard receiver, 2 of the 3 years in the NFL. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong on that. I know he had 1,000 yards last year, and I know he had 1,000 yards the year before that. Antonio Brown was on his deathbed as far as a career in the NFL. The Bucks took a chance on him because Brady knew that he had a special talent. The same with Leonard Fournette, written off as a locker cancer. Tom Brady knew he had talent. He was on his deathbed in the NFL for his career. He came to Tampa. These players chose to come here because they knew Tom Brady was here. Yes. But they also know Tom Brady is a winner. And Tom Brady chose Tampa Bay. The Bucks didn't just throw money at anybody they wanted to. Tom Brady chose Tampa, got the money that he didn't want some outrageous contract. If he wanted an outrageous contract, he would have went to the Chargers. The Chargers were offering him double what the Bucks were. Tom Brady chose Tampa, and the rest that came followed with. You really thought Rob Gronkowski would come out of retirement and play with Detroit? You really thought that anyone would take a chance on Leonard Fournette after he was written off from Jacksonville as a locker cancer? The same with Antonio Brown, who was suspended. These guys came to Tampa because they wanted to win, and especially Brown and Fournette wanted a second chance. And what happened when last season was over? They realized this is a family, this is a football team worth sticking around for, and they took less money to stay. Leonard Fournette could have made millions and millions extra. Where did he stay? In Tampa Bay. Antonio Brown could have went and made millions and millions and millions extra, especially after the season he had in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. He chose to stay in Tampa Bay. Sometimes the draft works and you win championships off of the draft. That's what happened with the Bucs the first time. It's what happened with the 70s Steelers, the 80s Niners, the 90s Cowboys, and the 2000s Patriots. Yes, it has been proven time and time and time and time again that draft class works. But then there are some times, and there are very, very little times, the dream team works. And the 2020 Tampa Bay Bucs were a prime example of that. I get it. I'd probably say the same thing. But at least I would give credit where credit is due. Did you see me on here saying that discrediting the Falcons when they went to the Super Bowl years and years ago? They had their chance. They built their team from the ground up, maybe added a few extra pieces in free agency. They went to the Super Bowl. They had their chance. This man stopped them. They didn't. They got lucky in the 90s. They say they had no business in that Super Bowl in the 98. But they went. You can't take history away. Would you take John Elway's Super Bowls away? Because last I checked, there were a few free agency acquisitions in those. Would you take the draft? Would you take anything? Would you take it away from the 2005 Steelers? Or would you take anybody's Super Bowl ring away that they rightfully deserved? Is my point. Whether they were built through the draft or built through free agency. Like I said, more classes were built through the draft. Then there's that few amount. It's built through free agency. Guys that have been there and know what they're doing, that taught these young players, like Carlton Davis, Levante David, who doesn't need any teaching. Shaq Barrett, who's been on a Super Bowl winning team behind Von Miller. JPP, who's been on a Super Bowl winning Giants team. I could go on. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and these younger players that we drafted years and years ago needed the extra push. And it wasn't coming from that guy who just threw 5 touchdowns for 148 yards on Sunday. Congratulations, Jameis. You threw 5 touchdowns. Just what? You want me to come on here and do what all these other Jameis dick suckers are doing? I worry about the Saints when the Saints come. They played a dysfunctional Cowboys. Listen to me. They played a dysfunctional Packers team and beat them. Kudos to them. They did what they needed to do. But you need to come up with something different. You need to get over yourself and your jealousy that this team's got 2 rings before you got 1. Whether it's paid and bought for. Whether it's because of Brady. Yeah, it has a lot to do with the Brady effect. Oh, and I'm pretty sure I'm extra pissing you off by wearing this jersey with this patch on it. My team's been to 2 Super Bowls. Your team has 2. Only difference is my team is 2-0. Your team is 0-2. David, I respect the hell out of you as well with your team's loyalty. You take it as hard as I do when they lose, and when you celebrate as hard as I do when they win. But damn, come up with something different. Because for the past 7 months, or even so forth, you've been saying the same fucking thing over and over again. Tampa pay yucks. I'll give you the credit. It's quite the impressive nickname. But unlike the Lightning, the Bucs kept it with the salary cap. That's a different story. You want to complain about? That's a team that built from the ground up is the Lightning. Just get over your jealousy that this city, Tampa Bay, the 813, is the sports center of the world right now. Back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, a football team that's on a 9-game winning streak, a baseball team that's on the top of the American League East, and Atlanta's just getting by and struggling. So get over your jealousy, find something new, and so forth. I'm not going to say what's going to happen Sunday because I opened my mouth way too loud last Thursday and came out of that game exhausted. Exhausted and defeated with a little bit of victory in me. So, for those asking me why I didn't come out last week, come on, people. I came out this week specifically because it's my way to honor Preston. Buddy, I miss you. I can't tell you how still weird it is to this day. I'm not getting text messages you about the game coming up Sunday. Usually you're in my inboxes, on my phone by Monday morning. And I got used to that for 5 years. It's very different without you now. And it still feels weird. It still don't feel right. So, with that being said, I hope everyone's doing good. Shout out to Sweden. As much as I ripped him, I still respect the hell out of him and his loyalty for his teams. But, find something new to say. Damn, now I'm sweating my ass off because I just did a bunch of yelling. Whew. 2-time Super Bowl champion, 3-time Stanley Cup champion Cam Dawson out.